Hi, my name is Stereo Mike.
G'day, Tony Jones here from Metal Monkey Media, and on the weekend I decided to go for a little wander out to Ripley Range at Ipswich and test out my new Remington 700 light tack rifle. Now, it was an unmitigated fucking disaster, and that was my fault. So, before we get into all this, if you're actually going to do this and do it properly, I would ask you to remember the principle of the 7P'S. Now, for those of you that don't know what the 7P'S are, it's proper prior preparation prevents piss poor performance, and that's exactly what I had on the weekend. It was absolutely piss poor. I was slightly hungover, which is not the best. I was also suffering from a cold, and I'd had a late night the night before, so not conducive to being able to actually hit anything with any consistency. However, I've got to admit, it was a pretty impressive looking unit, and the data that I did manage to grab out of it did show that the rifle does have some interesting accuracy potential, even though it is only a 20-inch barrel. The main fundamental problem, by the way, this thing is unloaded, there is no magazine in it, the chamber is empty, okay, alright, no one's going to get shot. My primary problem came from the fact that I rushed all my preparation, and the crowning jewel was when the rail came loose, and I just went, fuck, why didn't I just pull that off, clean it up, and Loctite it back down again, which was what I would normally do, but I didn't do that because I'm an idiot, and I can't be perfect all the time. However, I'm really happy with the rifle, and I did manage to shoot one nice MOA group, and I think personally that once I can tune a hand load to it a little bit better, it's going to be a lot better. And I'll be able to improve on that. Do I still like the rifle? Yes, I do. I was horrendously disappointed in myself, and it wasn't a successful day, and I came home with the feeling of, well, you fucked that up, you better do it again. Managed to use a couple of different projectile weights, some 168 grain Sierras, which is the last of some match ammo I made up a long time ago, and 155 grain Dyer. Now, for those of you that may not be into projectiles and stuff like that, if you're looking for a decent match grade projectile, I would recommend the Dyer. They are good, and they are appearing in a lot of ballistic solars and stuff like that. I use iSnipe, and they're pretty good. They've actually made it into that program, so they've obviously got a reputation. Okie dokie. Now, I just had some dramas with my Basker, and I think that was probably attributable to the rail, because so far it's been pretty much problem free. It will, actually be moving on to my 223 at some point, and I will be running this beastie. Now, this is an IOR Bucharesti. You don't see a lot of these in Australia, and if your gun fails, you can probably undo this critter and smack someone about the head or something about the head with it, and they'll probably die, because it's a 40mm tube with a 50mm objective, and it's got to be pretty close to 2 kilos. It's a fairly weighty chunk of change. I'm buying that off a friend of mine. Hi, Wes. Again. The thing I like about it is it's got this tiny little dot, and it does have an illuminator reticle. It also has 25 MOA per turn, which is pretty fucking cool. We'll see what happens. It is an ongoing project. I've got a bunch of stuff to pick up off lay-by from Cleavers, and that'll pretty much see this out until I decide to actually think about getting the action trued, and depending on how the barrel goes, maybe replacing the barrel, put something on the brake. Recoil is a little bit stiffer due to the fact that it is a shorter barreled rifle, although it's not horrible. It's fucking loud, but I'll give you that much, man. Other than that, it wasn't as fun as I'd hoped, simply because of the condition I was in. Didn't do myself any favours by having a late night and a few drinks. that's life. It's not like I didn't know that beforehand. I did rush my preparation, so instead of having all the same case and getting everything right, I wound up with mixed cases, which fucked with my groups and my head for a bit till I actually realised what was going on. Initial indications indicate probably the load will be around the 44 to 45 grain mark. That's double 208, and I've got to get some match grade primers, so probably some Federals. We'll see how it goes. Other than that, it was a pretty good day out. Got me out of the house for a few hours. Things could have been worse. So this weekend was a bust. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks when I can get back out and actually do some serious work with it and actually get all this done and worked out. And hopefully I'll have a little bit more success. And yeah, other than that, I hope everyone else out there in internet land had an awesome weekend, whether you were fishing, riding a bike, playing with your kids, out shooting on the range, out hunting something for the table or for fun and profit or just for fun. And yeah, thanks for watching. This is Metal Monkey Media Production. My name's Tony Jones. And yeah, do what you do well and do what you love. I'll catch you next time.